Well, what's up, boys? JP back at you once again, bring you guys day number 26 in my 11th annual 31 Days of Horror. So, continuing along here, finishing up, we're almost done. We have Burial Ground from the year 1981. This was actually a Severin release, pretty early Severin release, if my memory serves me correct. I forget where I got this from. I think maybe Austin gave me this. I can't remember. I know he's given me some titles in the past. I'm pretty sure it was Austin Schroyer. He has a YouTube channel here. I think it's Austin Likes Movies or something. But shout out to him. So we have a Italian film directed by Andre Bianchi, who I have seen a couple of his films: Strip Nude for Your Killer, What the Peepers Saw, Massacre, I think was him as well. There's a few. He's done a lot of films. He's kind of a sleazy director. This film is a zombie film primarily. It opens up with a scientist who is unearthing some stuff, and he basically releases this curse, and all the dead people in this area come back to life and turn into zombies. Meanwhile, you have a handful of people who he invited to this mansion, and they show up at this mansion along with this one woman's son, who is played by an adult actor who is very youthful looking. Not sure what kind of condition this actor has, but he's a grown adult, but he plays this little kid, but the voice is like dubbed, and the voice is like insane. It's super annoying but super weird too, and more on that in a second. But essentially they all start going off and having sex, and then basically zombies show up and start killing everybody. And that's basically your plot. We go from one place to another. They sort of hole up in the mansion. You have this siege taking place. It's sort of a siege story, which I'm always a big fan of, especially in zombie films. I mean, the original classic Night of the Living Dead is essentially just a siege film, but with the zombies. And that's sort of what this is. Not as good as Night of the Living Dead, but it does have its charm. So first of all, I gotta say, the movie is fast-paced, and then it slows down, but it slows down in a good way, as a zombie film should, where it's like this creeping death coming at you, which I like in a zombie film. The zombies themselves look very, almost like Tombs of the Blind Dead style zombies or ghouls. They're very, maybe Fulci-esque, super rotted, decayed, almost dry looking. They look very dry, whereas most zombie films have this sort of wet look to them. These guys look like they've been dried out from being buried, and they sort of have like this dusty look to them, which I like. It certain aspects of it, you could see the effects, the latex and the rubber and stuff like that. But overall, like, it works for me. I've seen this film on the big screen at a drive-in, and it was, like, perfect for that type of event, especially because the transfer was a little beat up, you know what I mean, the print that we were watching, so it kind of helped the film a little bit in a way, you know what I mean, to hide some of the blemishes. But another thing that I like about this movie is it's different, because the zombies, at this time you really didn't get this a lot, but the zombies sort of use items and tools, weapons. Actually, you did get it in 1968's Night of the Living Dead, the very first zombie film, traditional zombie film, not voodoo zombie, which I guess those would be traditional zombies. But anyway, you didn't get it a whole lot, but it did happen in Night of the Living Dead, right? With the little girl in the basement with the garden trowel. So there's that. But it happens in this film too. The characters are very underdeveloped. They're kind of just nobodies, you know what I mean? There's just a lot of like sex and stuff going on, but you don't really know much about anybody. But the son, the little kid is there's like this incestuous scene between him and the mom. He clearly has a thing for the mom, and it's just so weird and uncomfortable. But the first time I seen that, it's like a totally, WTF moment, and it's I like stuff like that because it's just so uncomfortable. Um, I've always said that like anything that deals with like incestuous stuff or um, that type of stuff always makes me super uncomfortable. And killing kids, and they do both. So those are the two things that always work for me in horror films, and it works for Burial Ground as well. The effects are pretty decent. But really, what I love about this film, above all else, is the atmosphere. It just has this great atmosphere, good Italian horror. Yeah, there's some bad dubbing, and yeah, the story is very paper thin. But the atmosphere just makes up for it so much. Like I love this mansion. I love the creepy look of the zombies and how they're just constantly coming forward, and I just like that stuff. So realistically, the atmosphere and the music, all that stuff is what really makes Burial Ground a enjoyable movie. And the more I've watched it, the more I like it. This might be a little bit high for this film, but I think it is like more of a style over substance in terms of narrative. It doesn't really have a lot going on there, but the style, the look, the vibe, the atmosphere, all that stuff works so well for me. And it's a short watch. It's an easy watch. And that's what I like about it. I've seen a lot of people shit on this movie, and if you only are looking for like the narrative aspect of a film, yeah, it doesn't have that, but it has so much else going for it that makes it a lot of fun. Easy, like I said, shorts, easy watch. Only 85 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna go 8 out of 10 for Burial Ground. I like it that much. So that's Burial Ground. See you guys next time with another one. Peace.